I think for me, it's almost like a little too much.
A wizardress?
Wizard
A
dress.
sexy wizardress brewing beer?
There's this like very cakey character to the beer.
The mental image of that alone is enough to make this episode just... Welcome back to the Beer Brackets Pub, everybody. I'm excited about this one. This one's been in demand for a long time. Every time we've talked about a Weizenbock, well, every time, the couple of times we've talked about a Weizenbock, in the comments, everybody's like, what about the Aventinus? It is a legendary beer from the Schneider Weisse brewery, the Aventinus Weizen Doppelbock. I gotta say, I think when we did that episode where we compared the Aventinus, the Battle of the Box, when it went up against the Paulaner Salvatore, a lot of people in the comments were a little bit surprised that the Salvatore took it, and they were a little bit miffed by our lack of, not a lack of appreciation because they're both delicious beers, but the fact that we didn't think that the Aventinus would be superior in that sense. It has a lot of fans, it has a lot of beer backers. I remember it being a little bit too rich, a little bit sweet for my taste per se, but you know what, man? That was a couple of years ago. We're more mature beer explorers at this point. So I'm very excited to see what our interpretation of this is in 2025.
That's a good way to put it, my friend, because as beer explorer, one thing is certain, you constantly evolve. So you can definitely be sure about that. So
yeah,
even the same beer is going to taste different, like in different stages of your life, of your beer exploration.
Oh, totally, man. Totally. And anybody who's a beer fan, a beer explorer can relate to that too. You know, the further on you are in your tasting journey, the more just you can appreciate beers like this. So yeah, I'm excited.
I agree. I dug deep into the meanders of the beer library to find
the meanders
of the beer library to try and find
just not the meandering halls, just the meanders.
Yeah, it's a new term. It's a beer bracket term.
I love it. The Beeranders.
The Beeranders. There you go. Obviously, this is a historical brewery, but it's not super old. It started in the 1872. And
newbies.
So it's relatively new compared to a lot of the other breweries that have historical, past that dates back like centuries and centuries. But
especially in Germany.
Exactly, especially in Germany. But here's a fun fact. Wheat beers used to be only reserved to the royal family. So only royal families were allowed to brew wheat beers. This is one of the first breweries that actually acquired the ability to brew a wheat beer that was not a royal family, but it's actually one of the first breweries that actually brought this type of beer back to the map, or brought it even more on the map. It was brewed first time by not a wizard, but by a wizardress. Yes.
A wizardress.
Legend says that her husband passed, and she had to be running the brewery, and came up with this recipe for this beer, and then it became like extremely popular and famous. What is it that makes it so special? Well, it is obviously a Weizen.
Feisty wizardress.
It's not only a Weizenbock, it's a Weizen Doppelbock. It's a unique beer that didn't exist, a style that didn't exist before and that became popular.
It's double the Weizenbock.
Exactly. Just like, so it takes all the best of the Doppelbock, like, and puts it into a Weizen with the wheat. But again, like, was a unique and new thing that hadn't been done before. You might wonder, why is it called Aventinus, right? It was named.
Oh yeah, the famous writer,
right?
Semi-famous writer.
Yeah, exactly. Like for
I did my beer research.
Exactly. For the historian, the Bavarian historian.
So first of all, that actually came up on the channel before, and I'm trying the first legend, the fact that wheat beers were only brewed by royalty back in the day. And I'm trying to remember it might have been a Beer Bracket of the Month episode, but I remember thinking about that and how that was so just crazy that the aristocrats would keep the ability to brew wheat beer away from the peasants. Like, it was this beautiful, holy, just sacred drink that only they could brew and consume. And they just would not let anybody else brew it. I find that so fascinating. That's such an element of beer history that's been forgotten and not talked about it much, how just revered wheat beer was for it to be kept. to be kept away from the people, from the beer people.
You are absolutely right, my friend. I do have one fact that I can add to that, like that ties into on the why this might have happened. Again, legend.
Oh, okay.
Legend. For what I remember,
it's the only source of information.
For what I remember, the legend says that, which we all know is the most reliable source of information.
The only source. Yeah.
One of the reasons that came into place was to control and guarantee the fact that wheat was used, obviously, in production for production of bread. And therefore, like, the royal family was limiting, like, no, you're not allowed to use it to brew beers, because they know they're Germans, and they're like, oh, if we allow them to do this, they're going to make beer, they're not going to make bread.
They're going to forget to make the bread. Okay, that's fair. I was going to say that sounds like an excuse, but that's actually kind of fair. I can see that.
Yeah. Think about the monks.
I can see them all just passed out on the hills, drinking their wheat beer. All the bread millers, all the bakers.
It's like, oh, no, we don't need
no
bread
being produced. Fair enough, German aristocrats.
Yeah.
I'll accept that. A wizardress?
A wizardress?
A sexy wizardress brewing beer?
That's it.
It's just like...
That's it.
The mental image of that alone is enough to make this episode just what it is at this point. But now, you know what? I think we need to crack this beer. We need to get deep into the Aventinus.
We should.
And let's see what we think, man. All this time later, it's been a couple of years since we featured it on the channel. What do we think? And how's it going to do in a Beer Brackets beer review? Let's find out. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, I remember this. The old friend, Aventinus, lurking in the meanders.
In the meanders.
That's a good one, man. I'm going to remember that.
Yeah, it's like...
The meanders.
The meanders.
Whoa. Look at that. I love just that deep, dark caramel color.
Caramel.
And that... Yeah, and that really nice tan-colored head, nice and thick and foamy. Beautiful.
Nice, huh?
Ooh, okay, buddy. Aroma cheers.
Oh, aroma cheers, my friend.
What do you think?
So let me just start. Is it getting Christmas time? Because like this reminds me of like.
I know. Is this Are we sniffing a Christmas ale right now? What is this?
Man,
this is Christmas ale from A to Z. This is
incredible. It is. I mean,
Christmas beer. Beer. I'm looking forward to that time on the channel again.
Oh yeah, me too, man. It took me
Christmas ales.
Immediately thinking, is it Christmas episode time? Are we there yet?
I want another St. Bernardus Christmas ale so bad.
Yeah,
so bad.
So the main thing the first thing that I think about when I smell this beer is banana bread, and I love banana bread. Like a good, well-baked banana bread is phenomenal.
I had some yesterday.
Look at that. Yeah. See, there you go.
My mom brought over some banana bread.
That's nice of her. Cheers.
I
Cheers
know.
to that.
I know. Thank you.
Obviously, banana being a big note, like there's this like very cakey character to the beer, sweetness, caramel, a little bit of toffee. You get hints of clove, kind of like classic in German Weiss beers in general. There's definitely a high degree of sweetness, even if you can't really taste it. It's more something you taste, but it's almost you can smell it. I don't know if that makes sense.
You can smell it. Yeah, well, banana bread smells sweet.
That's it. Like you're associated with the sweetness. Like
cakey. Yeah,
exactly. Right. There's some dark fruit too, like prunes or raisins. This is phenomenal. Love all the flavors, the intensity. I just think for me, this level of sweetness already on the nose is a little much. I'm going to go with the 2.5. Really, like the sweetness is almost over the top. A little fatiguing on the aroma. What do you think?
This might just be me a little bit, but I'm also getting a little bit of alcohol. Are you getting that at all? Like there's everything you mentioned. It's really nice and full and sweet and aromatic, but I'm also getting this alcohol smell that I can't get past a little bit.
Yeah, there definitely a little bit.
You're getting it a little bit too?
Yeah, no, definitely a little bit on the.
Yeah, I mean it's 8.2%, but I think it's there, which I'm surprised by. I don't remember that being there. I'm really enjoying it. It is a little rich, a little much. So I'll agree with 2.5 because it's fantastic. I've never smelled a beer like this before. A little much for me. Cheers, buddy. Let's go in for a sip with this 8.2%
Cheers.
Weizen Doppelbock. Yeah, come on. This is a Christmas beer.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
It's a Christmas beer. Come on. They should rebrand this. It'd just be the Schneider Weisse Christmas Ale. Christmas Weizen.
That's it. Like if you poured this in a glass and you told me, here's a Christmas beer, I would believe you. I would believe you.
It's got all those Christmas spice characters to it too. It's
rich is probably the best descriptor that you used, my friend, to describe the aroma. Coming on to the taste, it's actually not as intense as I expected. There's definitely that cakey banana bread, undeniable. That's the main note. But then you get this very nice and distinct clove note, which I really like in old German wheat beers. Like it's very distinct, and here it's done like just absolutely beautiful. It's mostly like a yeast character, obviously estery character of the yeast, and you get like this nice layer of malt. But it's not overpowering. It's not overly sweet, which is surprising because, like, when you smell it, you really think you're going to bite into banana bread, like an overly sweet banana bread.
Yeah.
So actually, my friend, on the taste, I'm going to give it a 3, considering how intense the aroma is and the experience that comes from the palate. Like, it's actually quite enjoyable to me. So, what do you think?
The aroma for me, it's so complex, but it was kind of straightforward in picking out descriptors. With the taste, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing on the finish, it's a little bit more difficult for me as everything gets a little bit muddled in there, but everything on the aroma you still get really tasty. Like you said, the sweetness doesn't overpower you, which is great because I was kind of expecting it to. The hop come out a little bit too. There's a little bit of a bitter kick there on the taste as well, which is nice, very welcomed. Alcohol doesn't come out too much on the taste. For an 8.2%, it's relatively smooth drinking. Every time I take a sip of it, I get a little something different. There's a really interesting, evolving complexity to it. And that's why I'm having a little bit of trouble talking about it, because every time I sip it, I get something a little bit different. I'm going to stick with a 2.5. Very rich, very obviously masterfully brewed. But I think it's just, not quite hitting and blowing me away as a 3. And now we're coming to the mouthfeel, buddy. Gonna do a little bit of a refresher here. I'll pour out the rest of this beer. This giant can of 8.2% Aventinus. It's always a good time when we break out the high ABV.
I love it. I love it.
The weather's starting to get cold, man. It's in Montreal. It's cold and rainy here today. Well, colder than it's been. It's like 22 degrees Celsius.
Well, it's starting to cool down. That's nice.
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, I'm welcoming the Christmas beers. That's for sure.
It is time. It is time, my friend. We're leaning into the more peaceful part of the year, like when the festivities start coming around, and you have Oktoberfest, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and then you get all the way to Christmas and the celebrations, which is beautiful.
It's gonna be beautiful.
I was having trouble before talking strictly just about the taste because I think the mouthfeel plays a good role into the lightness of this beer. The carbonation level is not super intense, but it's intense enough to really keep the body of this beer extremely light. And considering the amount of flavor and complexity that this beer brings to the table, it's very interesting how you're still able to achieve this creaminess without leaving too much of a sweetness cloying feeling sensation. There is still a little bit, though, and you can definitely tell, considering like the high ABV and the amount of flavor that there is, that it's extremely well done. It's still a little much. It stays there, so it takes it a notch away from being able to get to that 3. So I think 2.5 is fair because it's a very well done beer. For me personally, is a little short of that, being able to give it that 3.
Man, I'm struggling a little bit with this beer today. Again, because it's just so complex, I think this beer is a challenge for anybody trying to do what we're doing. When you're trying to break it down like this beer offers a strong challenge, trying to pick apart everything and understand really what's going on. You really kind of got to focus. I haven't experienced this with a beer in a little bit, where on the mouthfeel, I find it's actually sort of coating my mouth in a way that's almost like making me salivate a little bit. It's very...
That's true.
There's a residue. So flavorful, and it's so heavy, and it's so thick and rich. It sticks around in your mouth, and I find myself just salivating after taking a sip. I'm having trouble figuring out if I like that or not. I don't have a strong negative reaction to it. I'm not disliking it, so I'm not going to go with a low score. It's interesting. It's different, but I find it fatiguing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, for me, getting through this can is going to be a challenge. I don't think I'm going to enjoy it all the way through to the bottom of this glass. And the mouthfeel is one of the reasons why. So I'm going to go with a 2, I think, on the mouthfeel.
That's fair.
Take on. Now, finish, buddy. This is interesting.
Like you said, this beer, every time you take a sip, it's delivering almost a slightly different perception.
Every time, yeah.
It's almost.
I just took another sip. It's like a different.
So I don't know
beer almost.
I don't know the word. So help me out here, my friend. Like it's this toy that I'm sure you probably had as a kid. That you look inside and you turn, and it has mirrors inside.
Kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope. There you go. Okay, so it's the same one.
Yeah.
It's called the same also in Italian. Kaleidoscopio. Perfect.
Okay.
So.
Kaleidoscopio.
That's it. This is what this beer reminds me of. Like every time you take a sip, you're almost like twisting that, and it's changing the shape a little bit, right? The flavor.
That's
profile.
the perfect analogy. It's a kaleidoscope beer. Exactly.
That's what it is. Yes.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is.
We're finding the words together, my friend. See, we help each other.
Yeah,
we get there eventually. Stumbling upon like
we always do, man. We
the
always
meanders of the hallways.
the meander, exactly.
I can see what you were describing about the mouthfeel. For me, that element comes into play into the finish, and I love a complex finish, but the thing with this is that it lingers for so long, and it's so complex that it almost like gets a little fatiguing. So
it's almost like you want to delay going in for another sip because you're still dealing with the finish of your last sip.
Yes. I think for me, it's almost like a little too much. On the finish, I'm going to go with the 2. Yeah. Usually the finish is what I tend to like if it has a complexity. So this is strange also for me. I'm kind of like trying to understand what's happening here.
I'm going through the same beer struggle right now. I can appreciate why people really like this. Mm-hmm. I can appreciate that it's unique and it's well done. But subjectively, this isn't up my alley, and there's things about it that I'm not enjoying. It lingers so long. Yeah. And it goes back to me thinking like, okay, I poured out this can. Getting to the bottom of this glass is going to be a challenge. If I was sitting down and just drinking this pint and sipping it, by the end of it, I'm going to be fatigued. Not fatiguing, I'm going to be fatigued by the end of it. And it's because it's beautiful and complex, but I think this is the kind of beer where I'd want a little glass of it. You know what I mean? And just taste it and be like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, drinking a whole one is kind of rough. I'll go with the 2 as well. That mouthfeel finish, it's stopping me from going in and wanting to take another sip. All right, buddy, it's an overall beer experience. From beginning to end, this is going to be interesting. I don't know where this is going to go.
This is tough.
What do you think?
This is really tough.
This is really tough, right?
I think that this is one of those beers that we mentioned before, regardless of where you are on your beer journey. And this is a beer that I would encourage probably to try multiple times across your beer journey, because this is probably a beer that is on which you might change opinion the more you go. I would say that this is a pillar beer. Like, it's one of those beers that like you get to and it defines like a new stage, something that you hadn't tried before, that didn't quite exist.
Beautifully said.
And it's almost like the Schlenkerla and like the Duchess, right? Like those are beers that you can like them or not, but they define something that is beyond, right? Like it's something that they've reached out and found something that is very unique.
Beautifully said, man. Beautifully said.
Thank you, my friend. The challenge with that is, just like I said, is that it might be super appealing for some people, but also maybe not as appealing to others. You said something very thoughtful in as you were describing the finish. What comes across from this experience that we're having right now is that while there is a lot of complexity, getting through the whole beer, it probably feels a little fatiguing. It doesn't necessarily have to be. Not all beers are made to be sessionable. But I will say that there's a difference between sessionable and when getting through the pint like becomes like a bit of, and that's again a purely personal experience and purely personal opinion. Exactly. I think I'm going to lean to a 2 specifically for the fact that the more I drink it, the more I'm thinking, I don't know yet how I feel about it. So how about that? At this stage of my beer exploration, it's a 2. It might change, like, the better I get and the more accustomed I get to it. if I'm thinking I'm
Yeah.
gonna finish this whole pint, like it yes, I will, but I can see it being a little fatiguing. And yes,
Yeah.
I will is the important part, because that needs to be
Yeah, exactly. We don't waste beer. We don't waste beer. You know, I don't love all beer styles. I don't love all beer. But I'm a very non-picky beer drinker in the sense that if you put something in front of me and I'm in a social situation, I can drink it.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not crazy about it, I'm not picky enough that I can drink it and finish it and get through it and enjoy just the experience of having a beer. And, you know, sitting in the pub with you now, in that kind of social situation, I'm drinking this beer and I'm just like, I'm going to struggle. I am going to struggle finishing this. And that's not a common thing for me. So for me to feel that way, it's like, it's that dichotomy of, I understand that people love this beer. I understand it's an iconic pillar beer, like you said, but it's just not for me. And I'm just really not enjoying it to that level. So I'll agree with you, man. I'm going to go with a 2. What a journey this has been, man. I mean, we've gone a long time on this. This was a deep beer experience, man. We talked for a long time. We really delved deep into this. We went deep into our beer souls to evaluate ourselves and to think, like, what do we think of this beer? Mentally beer exhausted. But anyways, our final scores. For myself, it came out to 3.66 on 5, which on our rating system is a great beer. And also for Alessandro's a little bit higher, 4 on 5, which bumps it up to the next category up, an excellent beer. There you go. Yeah, for Alessandro, that aroma, that really took it over the edge for you. It did. That bumped it up there. Beautiful aroma. I'm assuming people are going to have their opinions about this. Let us know down below what you think about the Aventinus. We'd love to hear it. Again, buddy, you said it perfectly, a pillar beer. This is a pillar beer experience, so I'm sure the opinions are going to be all over the map. Let us know what you think about it down below. Click that beer bell. It's going to let you know when we're in the pub having a beer. YouTube will let you in the pub. So you can grab a beer out of your fridge and come join us.
That's right. Even if you're dreaming, just go find the beer fridge and grab a beer.
Lucid beer dream. Let us know what's in your lucid beer fridge.
That's it. And no matter what you do, don't forget to close your beer brackets.
Never forget. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.